when we start a podcast, or I assume when you started the podcast, you're not getting paid for it. You're using your own time. You bought your own equipment. You had to refine your own messaging. It takes time. Why do it? Why even go through the process of something like this to put out information to people?
It's a great question, and one I'm often asked about as well. My intention for doing this was because I got so really knee deep actually, let me back up. Because I was so involved in some of the efforts around, like I said, I'm in healthcare
Mm-hmm.
during the pandemic, and my prior background as I'm an employment attorney, I was in HR, all these things.
Yep.
When folks started leaving their jobs in droves during this really tumultuous time in life, it
Mm-hmm.
didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense that people would leave stability. And once that started to happen, maybe once folks started to try life on, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know really why, right? And I have a bunch of ideas for a bunch of things, and I'm not getting paid for this, right? To your point, right? And it's one of the things as I'm trying to grow. But I think I'm doing this because I think that when we talk about this, or one of the things I talk about is this human experience. I think we're all much more alike than we are different.
Yeah.
And I want people to hear that and see that through the folks that I talk with. And it's been great. Personally, I've learned a ton, right? I've learned, in my own journey, right? I was on one of those, oh, I'm going for general counsel, or, oh, I want to be CHR, or oh, this type of thing. And then, I've started to realize that, like, for what? you know, like like for what? Seriously,
Exactly.
what's gonna happen when I get there? Right? Am I just
Yeah.
gonna feel
Yeah.
like great now? And I got a great piece of advice, nothing to do with the podcast, but more so just professional around, Brian, you should chase projects, not titles. And it stuck with me. And so
Mm-hmm.
what I've started to do now, and I'm a part of a few projects in my day-to-day life
Mm-hmm.
that are really driving me, right? And so I'm one of those where I'm actually enjoying a lot what I'm doing 9 to 5. And yeah, it can be stressful at times and all that, but the work that I'm doing is impactful. It's like purpose work. And then now I get to do this on the side, and there's flexibility for it. I'm doing this because I really enjoy it. Now, granted, I am looking for sponsors to help keep the
Yeah.
lights on,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Money's.
So, I'm
Yeah.
definitely looking for that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is that's really my why, right? I think people need to hear these stories. I think people, there's social media really glosses over like people's lifestyles, if you will. We only see the good things. And I want people to know, and I want folks to share that. Look, there are real people out here who are going through real shit. And
Mm-hmm.
you may be going through that as well. Here's how they did it. Here's what you can learn from it. And the last thing I'll mention is that this common thread of work is something that connects us all. I mean, you had
Yeah.
four roles, right? You were working 4 jobs. So I don't even want to know, right? Like the different personalities you had to deal with. But
Yeah.
this theme of work is something that I'm really attached to because I think it is something that, for better or for worse, it unites us all.